morning, boys and girls, and welcome to ARC. Over the last few weeks, we've been learning about the miracles of Jesus. And we're going to have a short quiz just to start with to see how much you can remember. And Thomas is going to help me with the answers. So the first question, how many lepers came back to thank Jesus after they were healed? So a little bit of thinking time. Thomas, can you remember the answer?
1.
Okay, good. And question 2. What did Jesus say to the storm when he was out on the boat with his disciples?
Be still.
Okay, yeah. And question 3. After Jesus fed the 5,000, how many baskets of food were left over?
12.
Okay. And one of the things we've been learning in these miracles is that with God, all things are possible. And we can see this very clearly in the Easter story that we're going to learn about today. Jesus was still praying in the Garden of Gethsemane when a mob came to arrest him. Judas, one of Jesus' disciples, had betrayed him for 30 pieces of silver. Peter, another one of Jesus' disciples, wanted to fight the soldiers. He wanted to stop them taking Jesus. But Jesus said no, and he went peacefully, because he knew it was God's plan. He knew that he had been sent into the world to die on the cross to save us from our sins. Jesus was taken to the Roman leaders and king. They couldn't find anything wrong with Jesus. He'd obeyed all the rules and he had done nothing wrong. But they feared the people. These leaders feared the people. And they gave the people a choice. They said, we can release Jesus or we can release a criminal, Barabbas. And the people chose to have Jesus killed. Jesus was given a cross to carry. It was heavy. They put a crown of thorns upon his head and they made fun of him. Jesus climbed to the top of the hill and they nailed him to a wooden cross. Jesus was in a lot of pain, but he prayed that God would forgive the people. Jesus could have climbed down at any moment. He could have performed another miracle, like when he healed the little girl or when he calmed the storm. But he chose not to. And why was that? It was because he loved us. And he knew that it was the only way for God to destroy sin and not to destroy his people who carried so much sin in their hearts. Finally, Jesus said, it is finished, and he died upon the cross. His friends carried his body to a tomb that was carved into the rock and that was sealed with a big stone and was guarded so that no one could get in or out. 3 days later, his friends went to visit the tomb. They were so sad. When they arrived, it was empty. The huge stone had been rolled away. Soon Jesus appeared to them and he told his friends to go and tell others that he was alive. Jesus had risen from the dead just as he had promised. The Easter story is God's greatest miracle. Jesus died on the cross because God loved his children and he wanted to destroy all the things that we think, say and do that displease God. And he did this through Jesus. Jesus rising from the dead meant he defeated sin and that death is not the end and that we can live with God in heaven because he's given us a way back to heaven through Jesus, his son. And I think this is our very own miracle. And here's today's craft, boys and girls, a picture of Jesus risen from the dead. We hope you enjoy it and we wish you all a really happy Easter.
Happy Easter.